Dennis Wrigley Ministries, a better way, unity, renewal and healing.
Are you aware that in very many elections in Britain, the majority decide not to vote? We had elections for police commissioners. In many places, 85% of people simply stayed at home. Was that apathy? Was it cynicism? Was it a sense of purposelessness? I don't know. One thing I do know is that people are making a decision to withdraw. There's a disconnection between the people and the politicians. Our elected politicians recognise this. I was with a group of young people last week. The overwhelming majority of them were not going to vote at all. And so we are in a situation now which has changed radically over the years. Years ago, political meetings were held before elections, which are usually quite well attended and very noisy, vociferous. Now, they're not held. And indeed, some candidates don't even bother to send out election addresses. Then there were posters in many windows, now very few. Then large numbers of people were members of political parties. Now, political party membership is a tiny minority. Because of that, changes can be created in society against the will of the people. There's a mighty disillusionment with politicians. Yet we know that many elected politicians are very committed people who serve their communities well. But with all the publicity about MPs' expenses and corruption in high places, a cynicism and an apathy has developed in our culture. I believe if you look at the way of Jesus, you would look at the situation of Britain in a different way. Jesus said, "Behold, I make all things new." He's about change, radical change. Change in our attitude, change in our lifestyle, change in our human nature, change in our families, change in our society. And I believe that the moment we recognize that what is going on in our culture does have a significance to Almighty God who made us, then he impels us to go into the marketplace, perhaps into politics. I'm not concerned with the party. I'm not concerned with the particular area of activity. I'm concerned with Jesus, who wanted to send into the world people like salt and light, having an influence. At the moment, the Maranatha community is encouraging people to become involved in politics. The Maranatha community is encouraging young people not to be led by the nose by the secular humanists, but to go the way that Jesus is pointing. And it's happening. And I believe that the apathy which pervades our society can and will be broken soon. If it isn't broken, there's disaster. The Maranatha community has presented this statement, life or death. Are we a dying culture? Or are we going to be a living culture? Jesus said, "I've come that you might have life in all its abundance." Years ago in the Old Testament, we read of God saying, "I place before you life and death. Choose life." At the moment, with all the debates about euthanasia and abortion and dying cultures, we're tending to choose death. That's bad news. The way of Jesus is rightly called gospel. What does gospel mean? It means good news. And so the task of Christians is to break apathy, to break through all the walls of cynicism. We can do it, but only with the power of God's Spirit within us, impelled not by selfishness, greed, or human anger, but by the love which we see on the cross in Jesus. There is hope. God bless you.
Dennis Wrigley Ministries, a better way, unity, renewal and healing. Thank you for watching.